Hi. I I normally don't make these kind of video, but I feel like today's just too personal for me and I had to speak my piece on it. This year alone we've lost so many big names and many important figures in pop culture, some of which have been very personal to me. Got people funny comedians like Catherine O'Hara, greats like Sam Neill, legendary voice actors such as Tom Kane, and women who died way too young for their age that were ex-child stars like David Chase and Hayden Panettiere, who, the latter of which, share my namesake. Yesterday, even yesterday, it just continued. We lost great country music legend Dolly Parton, and that was a big blow for many people, and I share their sympathy. Today we lost a different legend, and it's one that hit me really personally. If you don't know by now, I'm of course referring to the legendary Tim Curry. If you're not already aware, which I'm sure you're not, because who's watching this? In fact, Tim Curry has made a giant impact for many people, but me specifically. To date, he is my favorite actor, one that I've looked up to for many years and have always enjoyed every performance. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch mostly Nickelodeon shows, and one of them was Jimmy Neutron, which is a personal favorite of mine. Every now and then on that show, there will be a recurring villain named Professor Finbar Calamitous. He's not really that intimidating. He's kind of like a very short, diminutive mad scientist who forgets everything he said. He can't remember stuff. He can't finish anything. That's his gimmick. But I always remember when I watched it as a kid, he had a very distinct voice to him. All the cats did, in fact, but I remember I wanted to figure out who he was, even though he wasn't a main character in the show. And I could be totally wrong. I'm only going to remember so much, but I'm pretty sure that Tim Curry was the first actor, or at least voice actor, that I learned the name of whenever he would pop up. Because I don't know if I checked the credits or of Jimmy Neutron or somewhere online, but I saw that name, Tim Curry, and I'm just like, huh, okay. And then every now and then in other stuff I would see, a lot of them animated, his name would pop up, and I would just be like, I'd just be like, huh, I think I've heard of that guy before. And most of the time I see him, he always left an impact, and even more so nowadays for me as an adult, because he's not only just a great world class actor, just very Shakespearean, very theatrical, which is why he'd done many stage musicals. He's a terrific singer on top of that. But he was never afraid to be ridiculous and over the top. But he never went to the full extreme where he got annoying. He always played it to just the right amount, the right hilt. So no matter what he's in, he's done many, whether it be live action, whether it be animated, whether it be stage or video games, you would always remember him. He always left a huge smile, even if the overall quality of the product wasn't great. There's so many, every time I see him in a movie or a show or animation or anything, I always get excited because I know I'm going to have a good time. He will always be amazing, and that's why I loved him. He wasn't afraid. He always left an impact. He would make you laugh. He would make you scared. He would make you feel an emotion. And more than likely, leave you with a big smile. I think you could say it all started with his kind of big like role that defined him for many people. This one right here, Rocky Horror Picture Show. This film kind of is what got him his big break. He started on stage as our favorite transvestite, Dr. Frankenfurter. And then when movie was brought to the big screen. And he showed the world his flamboyant nature and very strange character and world of this movie. A movie that, for the time it came out in the 1970s, I don't know how flew back then, because it wasn't a financial hit, but obviously nowadays has become a cult following because of how strange and weird it is, and very, very hypersexual in both genders. And not just the catchy music of this and the genius of Richard O'Brien making such a very strange B movie, but it's also the power of his performance. He just owned that dress, those heels, just every song. He did it with such conviction. It's truly an inspiration for many people, especially of LGBTQ community. Some of them probably owe a lot to Tim Curry. But it's not just that. There's so many roles I just adore from him. So many that just leave a great impact. One that many people watch during every holiday season be Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. He plays the hotel concierge of the Plaza Hotel, run by our President of the United States or something like that. And he could have just had a nothing role. It's not even really that deep. It's mostly kind of just goofy adult shenanigans that Kevin manages to outwit. But man, he knows how to play it. Every word inflection is just so hilarious, whether intentional or not. And he can make the simplest line like, "I love you," and it'd be so hilarious. He's so good, so charming, and has one of the movie itself has one of the best like cross dissolve of all time, where he cuts to watching The Grinch on TV. He does a little smile, like all the way back, and then it fades to Tim Curry doing a similar smile, just like when he figures out something, and then he just says, "Bingo," and the light bulb goes out. That's just such great, perfect filmmaking. So many others. Most people would also know him as, let me get it right here, this guy, Pennywise the Clown. I know he looks like a Simpsons character for some reason, but my in-laws got this for me for my birthday this year. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the 90s version of it, but I'm a big fan of Tim Curry. It's Pennywise, just playing it to the hilt. Some people were afraid of him as kids in the 90s. I didn't watch this as a kid. I think I've only seen this once, but I've mostly seen his scenes. But he can be sometimes intimidating in this role, but it's mostly just entertaining. As just weird clown who just basically, he kills kids, but he mostly just kind of annoys them half the time in random scenes. If you watch the movie again, how scary can he actually be? This Funko is scarier than Tim Curry was in the movie. Or miniseries, I should say. But there's a reason why people remembered him. He was the iconic evil clown for a good long while, until the 2017 remake came on. Heck, in fact, it's probably because of this performance he almost played the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. But the reason they didn't go with him, there's a little archive footage you can hear if you watch some early episodes of the show, but the reason why he didn't end up playing, because the creators thought it'd be too scary, so we got Mark Hamill, which I find kind of funny, because Mark Hamill also was pretty scary. Now, as much as I would have loved to see Tim Curry play the Joker, I mean, Mark Hamill's an iconic Joker for a reason, but still, what a world we could have had, you know. There's other great films like the 1993 Three Musketeers is very underrated. Freaking, he played the villain. He's really, if you notice, he's really good at playing villains. Like, he's so good at it. He plays them, whether they're comedic, whether they're serious. He always is entertaining. And Three Musketeers, watch that again, I think last Christmas, I think, maybe 2 years ago, I think. And man, every time he's on screen, he's just chewing it up. He's just so good with the robe and the mustache. Hey man, he's so good. Funny enough, a week ago I watched the movie Legend for the first time. Not really that great. It's okay at best with some great attributes. It looks amazing, and Tim Curry, when he shows up, he's a highlight. The makeup on him is so incredible. He looks so cool and scary at the same time. He got devil horns, red skin, hooves, bare chest, nipples, and everything. It's just, oh, he's so cool. I had a big smile. My wife can contribute to this. I had a big smile. I was freaking out because he's just so cool. So fun to watch. Oh, man. You know, another one of my favorites from him, and this ties into one of my other loves. Muppet Treasure Island. I love the Muppets. I have ever since I was a kid. Funny enough, whenever I watch this movie in particular, while the Muppets are great, it's not them that make the most impact. It's that guy. It's Tim Curry as Long John Silver. He acts more Muppety than the Muppets in this movie. He's so over the top, so big and flamboyant, and so charming. That's the thing about him and all these roles I mentioned. He's so charming. Whether he's evil or good, it doesn't matter. He's just so charming, just so delightful and fun and silly. And this movie, he can be silly. If there's anyone out there that could be named an honorary Muppet, it's him. It's him. It's Tim. It's Tim. But because he is just such a delight, I love every scene he's in. But even in this weird, wacky Muppet movie, he proves how much great an actor he is. Whenever there's scenes with him and Jim Hawkins, he plays it like really serious and sincere. Like the scene when they're like watching the stars on the boat, or when he's rowing away to with the treasure. He plays it so genuinely that I believe, yeah, he has a soft spot. It's not it's not, in terms of their relationships, in terms of Treasure Island adaptations, it's not the strongest. I'd say Treasure Planet has that regard in terms of Silver, but but in a Muppet movie, he just nails it. It's perfect. It's a perfect performance. But there's one other thing to Tim Curry. He doesn't always pick the best films or shows in general. I went through his library, and there's some stinkers in there. But there's one thing that everyone always says: even if the product that he is in is bad, he's never the problem. Some animated films, he's done a lot of animated voice work over tons of years. Sometimes he'll just appear in just random episodes of stuff like, say, Hey Arnold. He'll just pop up here and there. Phineas and Ferb, does a funny gag there's a funny gag in one early episode where Perry's disguising himself as like an evil scientist to fool Doofenshmirtz, and Doofenshmirtz wants him to read his autobiography, and so Perry starts talking, but it's really like a recording of the scientist behind his back, and that was Tim Curry's voice. At the point where the record's scratchy, he just says, some spec. The Doofenshmirtz says, Dr. Wexler, I don't remember you saying spec so many times. It's so small, but it's so good. He even plays like some recurring bad guys. I'll say on Gargoyles, he's an evil scientist, or apparently he's in Captain Planet. Who knew? Weird, right? But what I was gonna say is, there's a couple animated films I can think off the top of my head that are not really great, but Tim Curry's in, and he's just is the most entertaining part. I watched there was a 1997 animated Christmas Carol movie that Tim Curry stars in as Ebenezer Scrooge. It's not really that great. It's a bit too kiddie, but it's Tim Curry as Scrooge. That's a dream. And there's one scene I remember in there that actually gave me duet. It's also musical. Gave me a duet I never thought. Where you had Tim Curry and Jodie Benson, who people know as the voice of Ariel from The Little Mermaid. They have a little duet in the movie, and actually it was the best song in the movie by far. Others include like the Pebble and the Penguin, where he plays Drake. Shout out, and my brother didn't hear that, I hope. He was this big, muscle-bound penguin with man boobs. I don't know. Don Bluth was weird when he did that movie. And he does this weird kind of voice, but it's so entertaining. He's such a cliche, but Tim Curry makes him fun. Most people will know him for Ferngully, The Last Rainforest. He plays Hexus, the big smog just villain who has one of the most weirdest but also best villain songs in all of animation with Toxic Love. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. He's the best part of that movie. Or even direct-to-video sequel, A Beauty and the Beast, called The Enchanted Christmas. He plays Forte, who's a big CG pipe organ that's really kind of creepy to look at and also cool at the same time, who might be just a whatever villain, but he plays it just so devilishly. Like he's the devil over Beast's shoulder, encouraging him to stay a beast because he wants to stay an organ because his music gives like the beast, like it feels his anger and depression, you know. And it's weird. It's a weird film, but he just plays it just top notch. There's a line when I was watching it at some point. There's a line where he says he wants the beast to destroy the rose, and he just says, you know, go on, do it, smash it, and it's so funny. Probably unintentionally so, but he can even make you laugh when you're not even trying. When he's not even trying. Just, if I'm bringing up animation, might as well bring up his iconic performance as Nigel Thornberry from The Law of Thornberrys. I haven't seen it myself, but I've seen memes of him. He is a smashing fellow, let me say myself. Just get it right now. Star Wars fans might also know that he replaced the Ian Abercrombie on the Clone Wars, where he played Palpatine for at least a season. And, well, I think Ian McDermott and even Ian Abercrombie are probably better. It's Tim Curry's the Emperor. Am I going to complain? Just thinking about so much joy he's brought me that I feel like with him gone, part of my joy just feels like it's left me. I tell you all this because Tim Curry was my idol and my inspiration to be an actor, be a voice actor. All I've done now is like stage shows, mostly. That's mostly what I did, but I always just want to have just a good time. Just like be entertaining in some way like he does. Even if he's in something like, say, a Barbie movie or a Scooby-Doo movie. Just he gives 110%. He is the 10% of any bad movie that's good. And I'll never forget that. I never forget the impact that he's had on me. When he had like his stroke in like the late 2010s, he basically kind of retired from acting with maybe a couple things here and there. He's left wheelchair bound and mostly then kind of like looking kind of decrepit a little bit, and it made me sad that this icon just can't really act, do what he's done since. But he was still able to pull through for at least several more years. I'll never forget the impact he's left on me. I don't want to sound sappy, but I just want to say to Tim Curry, thank you. Thank you for bringing joy in my life and for putting in my mind that there's no such thing as too serious or too goofy. There's always the right amount, and it's never too much. I'm just sad I never got a chance to meet him in my life. I know the chances of that would be rare, but man, it would have been a dream to tell him how much he has impacted me. We'll miss you, Tim. We all love you. And to those of you that are watching, all three of you, I have just one thing to say to you. Have a lovely day.